that we're living in Africa, integrated European Union, materially and socially, we have many more rights nowadays than we had 40 years ago. So in all the fields, we have all the reasons, even the crisis that we have, the challenge that we have had nowadays to face, and all generations have their own challenges. But that's the beauty of a generation, is to have a challenge and the opportunity also to build a brick in the pyramid of a civilization or the international arena. So I think the changes that we're facing in the international arena, it's part of life. Let's study history and geopolitics. Never was completely stable for that many long years. So, I mean, now it's some countries are raising, some countries are more stable. Maybe it takes longer than one could expect in some fields, because there is a lot of things also to develop. It's not just materially speaking, but the distribution of the wealth, the distribution of the social benefits is also an important field. But the point is, well, it's changing, yes, but let's face it, naturally, we know much of the problem, and let's integrate it, and let's also, as our generation is now on the call for duty, we will also some contribution.
Okay, thank you. So challenges, part of the life, so nothing surprising probably. So Mr. Zhou Bo, I want to ask you, in the U.S. National Security Strategy report, the list like China, Russia, the rebels, after that, that's terrorism over there, obviously the change of order. And so, facing such a bigger power competition in time, how will China respond? And also responding to our friends, like how will China continue? I mean, China is second largest country now. Will China continue to behave very well and say through it around in the global community?
Well, to answer your question first, what I want to know is how, first of all, the American military is really serious with the so-called report, because the judgment is strategically wrong, taking China as the strategic competitor above Russia, North Korea, ISIS. Because if you look at a quote, the so-called crime of China, there are just two. One is the so-called predatory economics, intimidating the neighbors. I'm not an economist, but from my common sense, I would argue China is the largest trading partner with 100 and more than 20 countries. And with all the neighbors, with no exception, we're the largest trading partner. So how can you intimidate someone to do business with you? Yeah, this is impossible, because they do business with you because they find it beneficial for them. This is common sense. The second thing is the so-called militarization of the featured in South China Sea. First of all, what is the definition of militarization? Yeah, and just in the South China Sea, yes, China did land reclamation, but there's no international law forbidding land reclamation, and China is not the only country doing this. So let me ask another question. Yeah, since Trump administration took office, the United States Navy apparently has increased its so-called freedom of navigation in the South China Sea. This is most ridiculous in that the United States claim that this is an issue on which it takes no position. If you take no position, why would you strengthen this freedom of navigation? And this is not necessarily something happy for the Southeast Asian countries, because they are negotiating code of conduct with China, because China and ASEAN countries actually have made joint efforts to cool down the situation in the South China Sea. So what's the rationale of the U.S. increase the freedom of navigation? I want to use this chance to say that an excuse cannot be justification of your own action, and we in China and we in China's military are definitely determined to safeguard our legitimate rights and interests.
Well, how will China behave? Like, the prediction is that in 10 years' time, China will surpass the U.S. to become the largest economy in the world and probably one of the strongest power in the world. Will China be different from the U.S. in terms of handling global issues?
Well, if you, I'm a serviceman, so I can only talk from the security perspective. The reports are wrong in that it also mislead people to believe that China and the American relationship is a black and white relationship, which is not. Because even at the international front, China and the United States do have some cooperation, even in the military field. For example, in the Gulf of Aden, for which I'm a coordinator, and for example, President Xi Jinping announced with both President Obama and President Trump that China and the United States are going to make joint efforts in enhancing the third-party capabilities in peacekeeping in Africa. And we two countries, in spite of the differences, have actually been successful in signing the rule of behavior during maritime encounters. So no one wants to come into conflict. So therefore, what is the rationale for you to judge in the beginning that this is a major power rivalry?
Thank you, Mr. Zhou. And somehow, like, President come back to this question here. Like, I know U.S. is following this American first policy, but with that being said, I don't see there's anything wrong to defend your national interest for any country, not only U.S. but also China or any other countries, as President Trump said. But then, for the Chinese side, there's the idea of building a common community with shared future. I want to ask our friends from Maldives. The U.S. withdrew from the Paris Agreement, so you are not concerned with that at all. That's not priority of him.
Of course, we're concerned because we're in the forefront of climate change. We're on the, physically, it's a survival question of survival for us. And for many years, Maurice has been championing the issue of global climate change, global warming, and we had very high hopes with the Paris Agreement. And to see the Americans withdraw from it came as a shock for us. But of course, on the flip side, to see China come so strong in the area of environmental protection and all the changes that have been done domestically and the leadership that they have taken internationally gives us some hope that we can all together, multilaterally, make changes, and we can all come together and say that it's not just a problem for small countries. Of course, it's a matter of life and death for us. But for the entire world, it is a matter of all coming together and working together to achieve this. So for us, the United States leaving Paris Agreement is a big deal.
Big deal, yes. Of course, the international community, like all countries except the U.S., have signed up to the Paris Agreement. Maybe that's and provides some comfort for us in terms of dealing with climate change. And coming back to this common community, with shared future, I will ask Mr. Jing, like how China is proceeding with this concept of working with other countries to build a common community.
Yes. The reason behind those Chinese proposal of creating a community of shared future for mankind is that we are living in a globalized world. We are facing big problems, those are global. Climate change, spreading of international terrorism, all those problems we are facing are global issues. While the management framework of these problems are still national, still nation state. So the framework of the nation state cannot deal with those global issues. So we need to find a broader way to deal with all these problems. China thinks that the only solution to those global issues is to enhance international cooperation, to find an appropriate framework to deal with the issues. That's the way we propose to the world to make a sort of community of shared future for mankind. The way to build this community is mutual consultation. China won't behave like the United States to dictate those rules and then to impose those rules. As with what Belt and Road Initiative, we just propose something with those countries.